I'm doing something very different with this Apple Vision Pro unboxing that no one else has done on YouTube. What I have with me here today are 4 different 3D cameras, and I'm going to be filming this unboxing on all 4 of those cameras. As we unbox the Vision Pro, rotating between the Vuze XR, which is a 180-degree VR camera. I'll be using this to film in 3D. We also have the iPhone 15 Pro, so using the stereo camera on this iPhone. XREAL Beam Pro, which also has a stereo camera here. And then finally, the Lume Pad 2, which is a 3D tablet that also has a 3D camera built in. As soon as I start the unboxing in a moment, the video is going to switch over to a side-by-side 3D video format, rotating between all 4 of the cameras that I just showed you. So get a 3D device ready. Could be a pair of AR glasses, a VR headset that you have, or a 3D tablet. Any 3D device that allows you to watch side-by-side content in 3D on YouTube will suffice. Or if you're watching this in 2D, ignore the second image or zoom in on one of the images so that you can just watch it as a normal 2D video. Considering this is an unboxing and first impressions, this video can only be made once, so hopefully it goes well. We're about to find out. Alright, so we're actually going to be starting with the Vuze, and here is the box that the Vision Pro came in. I'm going to start opening it up right now and cycle between these different 3D cameras as we do this. And I've been waiting for this to arrive in my region for about ever since it was first announced. And it took longer than I expected. Here's the Vision Pro box. But I'm really excited to finally have it. And I'm going to give my first impressions after this is unboxed and take a look at a couple things, how 3D videos and photos like these turn out when you view them on the Vision Pro. That's what I'm most excited to test out first. This is the box that the Vision Pro comes in. Now I've swapped over to the XREAL Beam Pro camera, filming in 3D right now, and I'm going to start to open up the Vision Pro. By the way, if you think this video is a cool concept, or you're interested in 3D devices and 3D cameras, then definitely now would be the perfect time to give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. Okay, so I guess this is going to open up just directly upwards. So if I lift off this cover, it should come right off, and we should be able to see everything that comes included inside this box. I actually did not order the prescriptions for this because I wanted to be able to use it with other people, and I felt like it wasn't that big of a deal for me. My eyesight isn't a huge issue, but here it is. So opening it up, and surprisingly empty. Like, this is literally just the Vision Pro right here. I feel like I should capture this using all 3 cameras. What do you think? Brand new Vision Pro, straight out of the box, filmed with the XREAL Beam Pro. And it's kind of surreal to actually finally have a real Vision Pro in front of me instead of being the one who's watching videos of unboxings and people doing this. Next up is filming this on the Lume Pad 2's 3D camera. And this, let's take another look here. So it looks pretty much like it did in the promotional materials and from what I've seen from other people's unboxing videos, but some of the things that kind of strike me are how the material, it's a little bit more fabric-like than I expected. Give you another good look at it. I guess the next step is to take it out and actually try it on. I think I can just literally lift it up off of this stand, start to take some of this stuff off of it. Obviously this is just in here to protect it. Well, that came loose. And this is the inside of the Apple Vision Pro. Brand new. So this sort of just snaps on and off, I guess. I'm not sure if it's magnetic or what, but it kind of goes back into place pretty easily. I feel like it's locked in place now. Yeah, this is what it looks like. I'm a little concerned if this is actually going to fit because they have you do the whole try-on thing with just by scanning your face and having you look in different directions, and that's how they measure your head size and everything. Now we're filming with the iPhone 15 Pro's 3D camera. I'm not entirely sure how to get started using this, but here's another quick look at it, and it does look quite beautiful. I mean, I really like the way the fabric feels and how it's protected with this cover and everything. I think we have to pull the battery pack out of here before we can actually use this. There are a couple things inside. It says designed by Apple in California, and then you have this thing that says Vision Pro right here. And this whole packaging, of course, is really perfect. Apple always does a fantastic job with this. I think this is probably the Vision Pro user manual. it appears to be. And then the quality of this is really nice quality actually, and good pictures. If you're paying this much money for a device, I guess it's the least they can do. Okay, so we've cycled back to the first camera, the Vuze XR 180 VR camera, and I think I know what to do now. I'm just going to take out the battery pack and then connect it to the headset and fit it, turn it on, and see if that goes okay. So this is the battery pack. It comes with a couple cables to charge the battery pack. So here it is. This is the battery pack itself, and then a cable to charge it for when you're not using it, I think. But I'm guessing it's probably pre-charged. Let's hope so. And I'm going to take it out of this package. It's heavier than I expected. So this thing is, heavier than an iPhone. It feels kind of like a power cable weight, maybe a little bit lighter than the power cord. The adapter would be for a MacBook Pro. Still would be cool if you didn't need this thing at all, but it is required. So what you have to do, according to the instructions, is attach it right here to this thing. And before we do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and take off the cover to the Vision Pro for the first time ever. And wow, it's pretty cool seeing it in person. And then I didn't realize this, but you can actually see the sensors here, the cameras, underneath the display. And this is actually a 3D display, so I'm really curious to see how this looks when it's turned on. And the eyesight mode is activated. But I might not be able to see that myself until I actually watch my own video in 3D. Before I go any further, there's also a couple more things in this box, and I'm not really sure what they are. So here is another little thing that seems to be, okay, microfiber cloth. I think this is a cloth just to wipe off the front of the headset if it ever gets smudged or something. And then inside here is actually the light sealing cushion. So, and now for the moment of truth. I'm going to be recording this part with the XREAL Beam Pro, and hopefully it turns out well. So it says to connect this here and then twist it. So you have to line the dots, and then once you do that, then you twist it. And it's supposed to make a sound when it turns on. Not 100% sure if this is actually working, but we can find out by putting it on. My hair is kind of going to get in the way, but okay, I can hear. I'm not sure what it is telling me to do. Lift up the visor a little bit. Press and hold to align. Okay. Whoa, this is really weird. I've never been through like a VR setup like this, and now it's in pass-through mode, and that kind of shocked me because, yeah, it's not perfect, but this is definitely the clearest pass-through that I have ever seen. Okay, it's telling me to press the digital crown to begin, but it's just crazy. Like, I can see my own hands, and this is definitely the most, wow, the setup process is a little confusing. So you twist the digital crown to select the language that you want, and it's having me cycle through English, Japanese, or whatever. I'm just going to go with the English. It's asking me if I want to know about voiceover. I'm just going to turn that off. I don't feel like I need it. And then now it's saying that I can bring over an iPhone and then do like this setup by bringing an iPhone right next to this. Now I'm going to switch cameras to the iPhone 15 Pro and film the rest of this process using that camera. I wonder what happens if I take this off during this process. So that was weird, experiencing that for the first time. It's kind of, I didn't do a ton of research about like what exactly the startup process is and the things that it has you do and the first things that you experience when you go through it. So some of that was really interesting and a bit surprising. And the pass-through quality is really, really good, but there's still a little bit of fuzziness. You can tell that it's not like reality or real life, but it's kind of close. This really is my first time trying something so ambitious with multiple 3D cameras, 4 different 3D cameras rotating throughout the video, and then doing a big unboxing like this. Definitely not going to be making another purchase. You know, so it's kind of a special video, but if you think it's cool, if you're enjoying it so far and you have not yet liked this video or subscribed to this channel, definitely do so now. Let's keep going. This is filming now again on the iPhone 15 Pro's 3D camera, and I'm going to go ahead with the rest of the onboarding process now that I have my iPhone next to the headset. Let's put this back on. Okay. It's telling me to bring my iPhone nearby, and it's got instructions floating in the air, but then also on my phone, and this is really nice. This is one of the big things that I think people were concerned about, which is whether or not you can clearly see what's going on your phone, and I can see this really perfectly. So I gotta basically scan a QR code on my phone using the headset, and that went perfectly. Wow. So it just dimmed the environment, but I can still see the pass-through, and now it's giving me like a tutorial on how to use the headset by doing the pinch thing. So it's saying to scroll, pinch your fingers together and gently flick. And you can keep your hands where they're comfortable, such as resting on your lap. Next, you'll set up Apple Vision Pro for your eyes and hands. Press the digital crown to set up your eyes and hands. Look at your hands to set up. Triple click the top button for accessibility options and flip your hands over. Hand setup complete. And now it's dimming the lights even more. It says move the Apple Vision Pro up. Maybe that means it's like slipping down on my face or something. It's adjusting the lighting again. And look at the dot and tap your fingers together to select it. So there's a dot. It's just like a 2D gray dot floating in the air, and it's making me do this pinch thing. That worked perfectly. And then it floated up higher in the air, and now there's multiple dots. And it says select all the dots around the circle. I'm going to go through and select them all. So I went through and selected 6 of them, and that was really quick, and it worked perfectly. Now select more dots to refine your eyesight. Let's do it again. Okay, cool. So there's like 6 floating multicolored dots, and then one more time in brighter lighting. So now it's like I can barely see anything that's in my room right now. The whole thing is just like a white haze with the multicolored lights floating in the air, and I'm going to do it one more time in a brighter environment. Cool. Wow, it is really cool when it cuts back and forth between like the light environment and the dimmed environment, and then this pass-through where I can see where everything is, and it looks like I'm looking at like a 3D image, not exactly like real life, but this is like such high quality. It's a bit shocking. Okay, so now it's gonna have me do like the persona setup, capture how you'll appear in FaceTime and other calls, and personalize eyesight. 3D photos of your face and upper body from setup are encrypted and stored on your device. These photos in persona cannot be accessed by Apple. I'll set that up later. Optic ID. Apple Vision Pro can recognize the unique aspects of your iris to allow secure access to features. Optic ID data does not leave your device. I will set that up later also. Create a passcode. It's pretty snappy with the eye tracking, or using your eyes and then this gesture to do things. I wonder if I need to keep this on or if I can take this off. I do feel a little bit silly talking to you in the camera while wearing this headset, because most of the videos that I make on my channel are 3D devices that don't require any glasses or eyewear or a headset. This is an exception because I want to be able to use this, for one thing, to check the quality of the different 3D cameras, video cameras, and photos that can be taken on these different cameras on a really high quality display. And this is one of the best quality 3D displays out there. But let me know how much you want to see this device featured in future videos, or what types of things you'd like me to do with it, whether it's things like I just said, bringing over 3D videos and photos taken on other devices and just checking the quality on this, or doing other things. If you have some ideas, I'm totally open to exploring pretty much anything. I'm going to take this off for a second. Hopefully it's finished now. I've cycled back to the Lume Pad 2 camera one more time. This tablet that I'm filming with right now is an incredible 3D device. Just the sheer amount of different things that you can do with it. You can film in 3D and view in 3D as you're filming it, and it looks really crisp and clear. Yeah, actually the Lume Pad 2, because the successor tablet is going to be coming out probably any time now. So it's available at a pretty low price of $499 if you're interested. Arguably one of the best, one of the coolest and best 3D devices you could possibly purchase. Let's see if it's made any progress. Not really sure how I'm supposed to hold this. I don't want to ruin anything, but can't be perfect. Okay. and it's gonna have me like enter my passcode every time I put this thing on, take it on and off. Okay, it can't activate without an internet connection, but I guess it's kind of cool because, well, it would be great if this was not attached to anything and you didn't have to have it tethered to a battery pack or something like that, but at least you can hold this and walk around. You don't have to be literally like attached to the wall. So as long as you're aware of where the battery pack is at all times, then it's not that big of an issue, I guess. Alright, so I got everything set up, and now it's telling me that I can like pinch windows on the little window bar at the bottom to move them around, and that works really seamlessly. And then you can also pinch the corner of a window. Look at the window corner and pinch to resize. So I'm looking at the corner, and then a little icon moved to the corner to show me that I'm actually looking at it, and then I can do this to resize the window. Hold down the digital crown to recenter your view. So if I look off to the side, this window is kind of, the window that's floating in the air is fixed here, and if I want to reposition it, I guess I just look somewhere else. Hold down the digital crown, and then it recentered it to right here. So now it's saying welcome to Vision Pro, and then it's sort of like I'm looking at my camera right here, but the text is behind the camera, but I can still see it. So it's kind of a weird feeling. It doesn't really make sense in terms of like where stuff is situated spatially. Open home by touching the digital crown. Oh, cool. So this is the first time I've experienced like Apple's app icons floating in the air, but like when they overlap with a physical object, it doesn't like do any occluding or anything, it just kind of meshes into that object. Discover Vision OS apps. So it really just has the basic ones: Photos, Safari, TV, mindfulness, stuff like that. Pretty cool. Finish off this video filming with the iPhone 15 Pro again. There's something that I'd like to test out. I don't think this has been tested by anybody ever on the Vision Pro, or at least not stated anywhere that I've seen, and that is whether or not you can see 3D on 3D displays while you have this headset on. Like, I'm seeing the world in 3D. I can see my hands, the objects around me, the camera, and everything looks pretty much accurate to real life. But if I turn around and look at this 3D, the question is whether or not I can see this in 3D while I'm using the Vision Pro. So let's test it out, and the answer is I can see it in 3D. This is really weird because like this is popping way out of the laptop screen and I can totally see it in 3D. It's just lost some detail compared to, it's actually surprisingly sharp. So this is a model viewer on a laptop called the Acer Helios 300 Spatial Labs Edition. So it's got this beautiful 3D display that shows you glasses-free 3D. Obviously when you're not wearing anything you can see it in 3D, but based on what I just tested, you can literally see the 3D effect while wearing the Vision Pro. It's popping out of the screen and I can see it perfectly fine. So you could technically like game or do something in 3D on this laptop or other 3D devices while you're doing stuff in the air wearing the Vision Pro. Yeah, it works. That's pretty cool. I wonder if any of my photos synced. Okay, very cool. It looks like my photo album did sort of sync over to the Vision Pro, and I'm going to take a look and see how one of those videos turned out here. If I play it, this is my first time watching a video in 3D on the Vision Pro. And to be totally honest, it doesn't look like way better than stuff I've seen on other VR headsets, or like the quality of these 3D photos and videos. I mean, it's sharp. Yeah, it's definitely nice, but maybe not quite as shockingly good, you know, as mind-blowingly good as I had originally hoped, but this is pretty cool, and I do want to test out like how all the different photos and videos from these different devices look on the Vision Pro when I get the chance. I think these are photos that I've taken on my iPhone, and they're spatial photos, and they're looking pretty good. Alright, I'm going to try to set up my persona. The first thing it has me do is refine my hand setup. So I put my hands out in front of me, and it's going to capture that, and then flip them over. It'll capture the other side of my hands. Hand setup complete. Okay, that's the first step. And now it says how to capture your persona. And it's going to go through this explanation, but I'm just going to skip it and do what it says. Begin capture. So remove the Apple Vision Pro to begin capture. Okay.
When you're ready, hold Apple Vision Pro at eye level.
It's giving me instructions on what to do.
Keep your arms and shoulders relaxed.
I'm going to hold it at eye level.
Align your entire face within the frame. Adjust your head by tilting it slightly down. Slowly turn your head to the right. Now slowly turn your head to the left. Now tilt your head up. Then tilt your head down. Next, let's capture your facial expressions. Smile with your mouth closed. Then make a big smile with your teeth showing. Now raise your eyebrows. Close your eyes for a moment. Capture complete. Put Vision Pro back on to continue.
It's creating my persona, and I guess this is going to take up to a minute to create the persona. And it looks really interesting. It's really a weird feeling looking at myself in 3D sort of, but floating in the air. It looks like me, but it sort of looks like somebody else at the same time. So I think there's still work that needs to be done with these personas. It looks like kind of a combination of what I've seen from other people's personas before. So there must be sort of a shared aspect to it in the way it's reconstructing your face. I'm not sure. But maybe right now you can see the actual eyesight feature going on. You should be able to see like my eye movements. If I blink my eyes should blink, and if I turn my head to the side, I think it should sort of track it. So this is going to be interesting to see how it turns out in 3D. Let me know in the comments what you think of this eyesight feature. Like, I think it's kind of an interesting concept, because if you're in the room with somebody else, it does make sense. Like, if they're in this own world of their own, it kind of feels too isolating if you don't have anything there. By having something like this, if I'm in the same room as a friend or a family member and I'm using the Vision Pro, they sort of still feel connected to me, maybe because they can see, at least it looks like, they're given the illusion that they can sort of make eye contact with me, or that I'm still present in the room rather than completely shut off in my own space. But what do you guys think? Do you think this is a useful feature? What do you think of the actual effect in 3D? Because it should sort of be captured with this 3D camera that I'm using right now. So that is it for my unboxing and first impressions of the Apple Vision Pro. I would just say that doing it in the lighting of this room, in this environment, there are some things that pleasantly surprised me, even with all the hype and everything that everyone's said about it so far. A couple of things that maybe were not quite as good as I had hoped, but I just started using it. I mean, I can see a little more lack of perfection in the actual icons and the different things that are displayed to you in 3D, and then the pass-through too, but it still looks really nice, and I think it's going to just take time for me to use this and try a bunch of different things and see what stuff really is mind-blowingly good and which things maybe not so much. But yeah, this was the first time for me to ever use an Apple Vision Pro. I've never gone in and demoed it. This is the first day that it was available for purchase in my region, so I'm really excited to finally have it and to see what part of my channel I can make it and where it fits in with all the other content that I'm making on really amazing 3D technology, which you can now find a bunch of different videos about on my channel. So check those out if you're interested in learning more about the Lume Pad 2, or about the Nubia Pad 3D, or the Acer Spatial Labs laptop, or any of these glasses-free 3D devices. I'm filming on my iPhone 15 Pro right now, but that is also a glasses-free 3D device because I have a special film screen protector on it that allows me to turn my iPhone into a glasses-free 3D, a high-quality glasses-free 3D device. So I have a bunch of videos on all these different topics. Make sure to check them out and stay tuned for even more really awesome 3D related content to come soon. This whole swapping between different 3D cameras thing was a first for me, so let me know if you liked it. Which camera did you think turned out the best? Or just let me know in general what you thought of the quality of each individual camera and what they do well, what they don't do so well. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.